So this is a really shocking news story which is going viral right now. So we all know that China is the world's largest distributor of rice, and there's factories in China that are making rice, but the bizarre and scary thing about these factories is what they're making the rice of. They use toxic plastic to create rice grains and then bag them up like regular rice, then ship them out to markets in China and to companies who distribute them all over the world. And eating just 2 bowls of this rice is equal to consuming an entire plastic bag, which is dangerous for your health and terrible for your digestive system, and it could be potentially fatal. The rice has been found being sold in China, Nigeria, Mexico, the United Kingdom, and the United States. But next up we have coffee. So a lot of you probably start your morning with a refreshing cup of coffee, and even though some companies will put labels like 100% pure coffee on their containers, a lot of these companies don't just sell coffee in these containers. But what exactly is in the coffee? Well, coffee is often cut, and cutting means to mix it with other things to make the price of making it cheaper because the company doesn't have to use as much of it. And the things companies cut coffee with are twigs, roasted corn, ground roasted barley, and even roasted ground animal skin. So next time you buy a cup of coffee, just know you're drinking this stuff too. And the only reason is so that companies don't have to use as much coffee in the production process, which can save them millions of dollars every year. But next up, we have fruit juices. So we all know that fruit juices can come in a lot of different flavors, and some of these can be quite exotic and others not so much. But one thing that all of these flavors have in common is that juice companies are being cheap while making them. So apples are the cheapest fruit because there's so many of them, and because of this, fruit juice companies will dilute their juices with apple juice, which is why if you check the label on the back of almost any fruit juice, it will say that it contains apple juice. And companies sometimes make 60% of their fruit juices apple juice just to dilute them. And if you're thinking, well, at least apple juice isn't fake. Well, no, most apple juice isn't made entirely of apples. Even when it says made with 100% apples, most companies use apple concentrate from China, which has been found many times to contain banned pesticides and other chemicals.
Greetings, and fun greetings. Told you we had a special guest this week. She back. Well, to you, she might not be special, but to me, me take the title, yeah?
Hi everybody, welcome back to me, welcome back to you, welcome back to Here to Help You on MyTCNTV Network. Guys, thank you for the love. Listen, I've been away for a few weeks, and you know what, it's going to be like this for the next little bit.
Hey, listen, man, you have to stop telling the secret, you know?
I won't be around, so I appreciate all of the support that you guys have been giving Dave. Really, I do appreciate you guys. It's a lot of love, and we appreciate that. I'd like to thank my co-host with the most, the one Dave Rankin, for holding it down, Brethren. He's getting so much better, guys.
You know, it's been
Dave used to suck at this.
It's been a while since you called me the co-host with the most.
You are the co-host with the most. Did you miss the shade I just threw at you?
I did. Not. I heard you. Loud and clear.
No, honestly, I want to say thank you for doing your part. You've been killing it on the show. You're doing a really good job.
Well, you know, thank you very much for your support. You know, thank you, of course, to everybody who's actually tolerated me week in and week out as I go through my mess ups. You know.
And he's been changing outfits, guys. Have you guys noticed that? He's been wearing color. We got him in some blue.
Well, you know, you see.
He's doing a thing. So you see, this is the thing about evolution, though. You're evolving.
You know, I'm gonna leave you there, right?
I didn't plan his outfits. I'm telling you, I had nothing to do with his outfits. Nothing.
You see, family, everybody who knows me, I know I love to be comfortable. And well, you know what? Shoot, I gotta put on a color. So here it goes.
Anyways, so today we're talking food. Food. And as you can see, oh wait, pause. We have to big up Anisha. She's been sitting here with no food. Speaking of food.
Yeah, Alexi's the top of her head right now.
Yeah, like she's so little bit. But thank you, Anisha. She's the lady behind the camera, making us look good, giving me angles. So now we can go back to what we were talking about. So food. We have a guest today. We're bringing her in a few minutes, and she's going to be telling us about all the right things we should be doing to eat. Dave's going to talk about some of the foolishness. And you know what, Dave? Where can we find it? Because we have a list here, but we're not going to get through all of them. So would you post these up?
Yeah, what I'll do is go through the blog. Please jump online to www.here-to-help.com. We do put the blogs for after our shows there. Plus, you can always watch our videos there as well. So, tune in.
All right. So let's start going to some of these crappy things. Go pick up like the top 2, the ones that are really gross.
Well, it's where to start from, right? And I'll pick one from the top.
Okay.
Ice cream. And I know like it's gonna really hurt a lot of people's feelings, right? But we have to go and share the information because at the end of the day,
throwing shade. Like, why did you pick ice cream?
Listen, let me talk now. Anyways, right? So, as we all know, of course, basic ice cream is simply made by, of course, cream, milk, sugar, right, and sometimes eggs, right? However, though, to get that vanilla. Right, some of us do love vanilla. Some of us love strawberry, the raspberry. Right. However, though, the flavor we think that's actually natural, it's actually coming from a beaver's butt. Right. It's called castoreum. Right, and I'll spell it CASTOREUM. Right, because information is power. Regardless what you do with this from here on in. Right? It's on you. At least know.
He's horrible. He did this on purpose because I love ice cream. He is horrible.
So basically what a beaver does is that, of course, they go ahead and release this smell, right? And yes, when it goes out into the atmosphere, it smells like vanilla. And this is where we get our vanilla flavor from. It's real talk. Yeah, for real, man. Well, you know what? I haven't found anything on chocolate ice cream as of yet.
Eating chocolate ice cream tonight.
However, because a lot of things are mass-produced, right? Of course, there's some sort of cut and dry that's there, right? Next.
Thanks for ruining ice cream for the world, Dave.
Well, there you go. Yes.
So for everyone who eats vanilla ice cream, you're eating beaver booty.
Vanilla, strawberry, raspberry.
Whatever.
Right. Beer's another one.
Hater.
Right. Isinglass. Right? And I really had to look up this.
Look at the beaver.
Right? I know, right? Poor thing, right?
Oh my God.
I haven't found out how they actually go ahead and extract the castoreum from the actual beaver. But that, I'm sure that's another topic for another show, right? But Lord have mercy, if we never know now.
What's next? What else are you gonna ruin for the
beer.
world, Dave?
For all of us beer lovers, right? Beer contains juices of fish bladder.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Well, once you see what it looks like.
It's just fish pee, guys.
Well, isinglass, in fact, is the name of it. In fact, where the stick is pointing to, that silver part right there, yes, that goes inside beer.
What does it do? What's its purpose?
Its purpose is actually to go in and separate the yeast from the actual liquid, right, faster.
Okay.
Right? Naturally, it's done, or that's the actual vegan alternative right there. They call it agar. However, though, naturally, the yeast will go ahead and separate itself, but of course, mass production. So they need it to burn faster and faster and faster.
That's not too bad.
Right?
That one's all right. Beer drinkers, you're just drinking some.
Yeah, there you go.
Some fish pee.
There you go, right? Guinness used it in a long time. In fact, they just recently stopped using it. Foster's, Carling's, Murphy's Irish Stout, those are the ones that actually use it, right?
It's bad, though. It's really not too bad.
But still, you know what? For those of us, once again, right? Once you receive the information, it's up to you regardless of what it is you want to do with it. Right, so if you want to continue,
you want to drink swimmers pee, go ahead. That's Dave calls fish swimmers.
Listen, it's not the actual liquid that comes out; it's the actual.
It's the bladder itself.
It's the gland that goes in.
Whatever.
Right.
Okay.
Our last one before we get out of here, the red food dye that we see like in Red Velvet, the Starbucks strawberry frappuccino, and so a lot of other things.
You're wicked.
Right. Listen, man, it comes from a bug, an insect called cochineal or cochineal. Yeah, that thing right there. Once you crush it, you get the red dye from it.
Yes, this one's not too bad either. This is natural. It's coming from the earth. So this one, go on with the red velvet.
But you see the thing? Here's the thing, right? But right, once again, it's the information. At the end of the day, right? Because there are vegans out there say, listen, yes, red food dye. However, though, now I understand exactly where the red food dye comes from, right? Carmine, in fact, is what it's actually literally known as, or where is it? It's natural red number 4. So those are the.
So when you see natural red number 4, it's bugs.
It's bugs. Yes, there you go. Right, and our last one, in fact, we'll get out of here. So McDonald's, Burger King, Dunkin' Donuts, they all use an actual food additive called L-cysteine.
Okay, talk about it.
Right. Naturally, it's found in cow horns, chicken, and as well as duck feathers. However, though, the majority of it that is used in this side of the world comes from China. And in fact, it's from human hair, from barbershops and as well as hair salons.
I'm a mutton guy. You know how much I was walking around here with human hair on our head right now? This don't bother us. This ain't nothing to us. We're like, and?
Well, see, it's there to go ahead and actually enhance the lifespan.
What's up, Anisha?
It's true though. Like, imagine how much hair how much of your own hair you end up eating.
How much of other people's hair, if you're a black girl, you end up eating? Let's be real. We've been namming here for years. Next. Listen, the only one that really hurt me there was the ice cream.
Was the ice cream? Yeah.
It was so unnecessary. Put up the beaver again.
You know, there's so much
Let's take
more.
a look at this beaver.
There's so many more that's out there. If you see yellow number 5, that comes from coal tar. Propylene glycol, which is actually antifreeze. I mean, so like there's so many ingredients out there which is simply not conducive to our, of course, our genetic makeup.
And then there's beaver poop.
And then there's beaver glands, you know, from the bottom. Of course, when you take this out of it, of course it will.
So when we get back, guys, we're gonna sit down with someone who has a lot more sense than I do, clearly, when it comes to these type of things. And she's gonna shed a better light on the foods in a much nicer way than Dave did, because he just ruined it for everybody. See you guys soon, guys.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity and our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
Hello, my name is Anisha, and I'm the production manager of TCN Network. Have you ever wanted to host your own show? Do you have a message to share? Well, you're in luck. We are looking for dynamic and unique individuals to host their own shows. We are seeking people who are committed, motivated, and energetic. Do you want to be the next Jimmy Fallon, Ellen DeGeneres, or Shane and Ryan from BuzzFeed Unsolved? Start here. Fill out the Propose a Show form on MyTCNTV.com. We're here to educate, support, and build the community. Can you lead by example? Go the extra mile and seek knowledge? Are you humble, disciplined, responsible, selfless, and enthusiastic? Those are our core values. And if you identify with them, you could be part of a growing network that focuses on positivity and uplifting our community. We can't wait for you to join us on TCN Network and hope to hear from you soon.
We're back, family.
Come in, lovely. I want you in a little. We need to see more of your face.
Yes,
I need to introduce. Come on in a little bit more.
Yeah, man.
Just give her some room. All right. So this beautiful woman to my right is about to come talk some sense to us, because if you guys are just joining us now, we're talking about eating to feel better emotionally, not necessarily emotional eating. And we're going to talk about what that means. But let me first introduce this young woman to my right. So Miss Celeste London started working in the community in 2004 at North York Women's Center, volunteering as an independent workshop facilitator. Here, she facilitated sessions and workshops on lifestyle, health and wellness, and personal development. She then decided to level up by going back to school, and in 2009, she attended the Canadian School of Natural Nutrition and received her diploma in holistic nutrition. Of course, she didn't stop there. In 2012, she continued her educational journey, and attended the Integrative Health Group, where she received her Certified Natural Medical Practitioner, Registered Natural Therapy Practitioner Diploma. I'm going to have her explain all that when we start talking to her, but that's a whole lot of nature and holistic, okay? During her studies at the Integrative Health Group, she was also attending Edison Institute of Natural Nutrition, where she graduated with a diploma in holistic nutrition, wellness studies, and holistic health. She is currently a volunteer facilitator and a yoga teacher at the Tropicana Community Services, an ancient yoga teacher, nutrition consultant, and a certified natural medical practitioner. I would like to welcome to Here to Help You, the wonderful, amazing, let's see if I have any more adjectives. I have more. I'm tired. Celeste London. Welcome, my dear.
Thank you very much.
How did I
Thank
do
you.
with the out of Pretty good, right?
Yes, very good. Thank you very much.
Research. All right. So, let's honestly, we have actually been in correspondence for about 2 years now.
Yes.
And I've watched your journey. I've watched the things that you post.
Okay.
I see the things that you do. Let's talk a little bit about your journey. Let's talk about your life growing up. I want to kind of let people understand how you've gotten to this point. And I'd mentioned to Celeste that this probably is going to have to be like a 2-part or 3-part series because there's a lot to talk about when it comes to health and your diet. So let's start with your journey.
Okay, so I come from the island of Tobago, and as a little girl growing up, you have access and abundance to fruits and vegetables right off the tree. My grandmother had a farm, so I didn't have to actually go to a store to get any food. To make a long story short, I got told as a little girl around the age of 6 that we're going to migrate to Toronto, Canada. So then when I landed here, of course, being a little kid, you don't understand the concept of going to a store to buy food, right? And I never knew that this was something I was going to actually want to become in something that's going to be a part of my passion in a profession. But then fast forward to adult life, and I found myself where I'm living a life as a single parent and then having to deal with the loss of a partnership. And I had to find ways where I was going to heal myself. And also my daughter at that time, she's 21 now. Well, she'll be 21 next month. But she developed eczema at a very young age. And so a lot of the people in our community, you know, especially when you have a skin disorder, they can't connect the dots. So obviously I went to the doctor and I got referred to a dermatologist. And there's a cream that they prescribe for you to put on the child's skin. It's called cortisone cream. So what happens is when you're a melanated person, a dark-skinned person, when you put this cortisone cream on your skin, it makes you turn into different. It actually bleaches out your skin. That's what it does. And so I saw my baby daughter at that time, skin getting bleached out, and also as a baby, her skin was thinning. So then I questioned what is going on in terms of, you know, the situation with her skin is getting better, but it's also making her bleach and then thinning out her skin.
Right.
So it forced me to put me in a situation where I ended up one day at a health store and I saw this alternative magazine and I saw different things on how a person can heal themselves from the inside out using food medicine. And this is what stirred up my passion as a mom to want to go out into the world and do research on alternative medicine choices to help people overcome many and all kinds of health issues.
Okay. So can you tell our audience, what is one thing that you would say? I know you mentioned your daughter. Was there another event that you find significant that really gave you the push to make this? It is an evolution and like a complete transition in lifestyle because, like you said, you came from organic to like pretty much inorganic, and to go back to organic when you live in an inorganic society. What pushed you? What was that final thing?
Well, what pushed me is a couple years ago, I have a son now. He's 5 years old. And I have a background where, you know, I've been a single mom for a while. And so I attracted somebody into my life. I was like a wounded woman who attracted also a wounded man. And so that relationship that he came out of had a lot of pain. I'm also a woman with a lot of pain. So two people coming together, pain coming together with pain, it's a disaster. So instead of me focusing, and I'm not bashing men, this is nothing about that. It's about looking at yourself in the mirror. So what I realized is I had to do a turnaround and look at myself in the mirror and say, what can I do with myself to start myself on this healing journey? Because when a person, you know, hurt people.
Right.
And so I can't blame somebody who comes into your life with a person who's filled up with a lot of pain. And he had somebody in his life for 30 years. And that person broke that marriage. And this is what I allowed into my life. So all you're going to receive from that person is pain. So like it's either I stay in that situation and live a life of pain, and the rest of my journey, my life is pain, listening to this person's story with pain, or do something to channel an energy in myself where I become an advocate in the world, where I get to transform myself and then help other women transform themselves. And this is why my business now is I help solo moms, meaning single moms, turn their life of trauma, meaning emotional trauma, into triumph with food medicine.
I love it, because no one would ever think about using food. We use food as a medication, but in the wrong way, right? I think food has always been, and this is the beauty of what you do, food has always been that comfort.
Yeah.
So imagine you could use food, the proper food, to comfort you,
Yes.
but it wasn't hurting you. I think the foods we eat now, I think you'd probably agree, and I know we're going to talk about this more, a lot of these comfort foods that we have end up hurting us more than helping us.
Yes.
Right? So this change, how did this affect your life and the way you look at life? And I'm talking about the change of going from the inorganic lifestyle to the more organic, holistic lifestyle. And again, we're dealing with the pain and all that you were coming from. How did that look?
Well, first of all, I had to have an awareness in myself that I didn't want to continue to live a life with emotional pain. Because when you attract somebody with pain and then you have your pain, it's like a tornado, right? Or a volcano. Like there's a song about that. I forgot what his name is. And you know, and so instead of living a life where you're in a whirlwind, somebody has to step up and make a decision to say, you know what, I'm going to start with me.
Yeah.
So it has to be an awareness where, you know, like we all have different situations in life, and it's such a painful experience that you have no choice but to just find something to transform yourself to come out of that pain in a positive way. And so it was more like it was like life flashing before my eyes. And then I had to make a decision where it's sort of like somebody experiencing, maybe you're depressed and you're on your bed. And then you have an alarm clock to help you to wake up. And then if you don't get up, it's like you're going to lose your life. So it's like I had to hit that bell, and I had to say to myself, no matter how much I don't want to get up, I have to talk myself out of getting up. I had to talk myself out of going into this healing journey, knowing that I'm going to experience all kinds of emotions. Anger is going to come out. Frustration is going to come out. You know, I had situations where I wanted to scream into a pillow, right? Just to get, I went to the mountains up north, right? And, you know, and I encourage anyone who's going through a loss or something that they feel wasn't just or any, because people have all kinds of experiences. But the point where I say you can use the food, just like how food can break you and create illnesses in you, you can also use food to help to restore you, rejuvenate you, and to heal you.
I love it. So we are going to take a little bit of a break. And when we come back, we're going to actually start talking about ways in which you can rejuvenate yourself with food. Again, this is someone who has years of experience in this. So definitely I would say get a second, take out those pencils, take out those pens, just jot down some notes, and do know, of course, that we will be rerunning this after, so you can catch it if you're not able to write everything now. Definitely, though, please like, share this out if you know this could help someone. And leave your comments, leave the things that you've heard. If you have any questions for Celeste, definitely put them in. And when we come back, we're going to start speaking more about solutions. We'll see you soon on Here to Help You.
Okay, we're here in life class again after last night. Knowing when you know better, you do better. We're ready to move on to what I think is another powerful lesson that I started to get when I was a really young girl, having been raised by my grandmother, and then at 6 years old being separated from my grandmother, being moved to Milwaukee and suddenly in a foreign environment for myself. I remember walking into that new space and recognizing that in many ways, I was alone, which is a terrible feeling if you're 6 years old. But I have always had the deep understanding for myself that if anything was going to move forward in my life, that I was going to have to be responsible for making that happen. And I know that to be true now and can articulate it as you are responsible for your life. And if you're sitting around waiting on somebody to save you, to fix you, to even help you, you are wasting your time, because only you have the power to take responsibility to move your life forward. And the sooner you get that, the sooner your life gets into gear. This is what I know from doing 25 years and thousands of interviews on The Oprah Show. It does not matter where you come from. I have seen people come out of the desert, walk across the desert, being born in the most dire of circumstances. Doesn't matter what your mama did, whether she did or had a PhD or no D. What matters is now, this moment, and your willingness to see this moment for what it is, accept it, forgive the past, take responsibility, and move forward.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. If you are just joining us, we are in our second half of a show with the wonderful, beautiful, intelligent Celeste London, who is talking all about how we can eat to help deal with our emotions. Again, not eating because we're emotional. I want to make sure that I'm very clear about that, because it's not about eating when you're just feeling depressed and eating ice cream, which Dave ruined for us in the first segment. So that I like to show. We were just saying that Oprah's a very powerful individual. She is like, and I like to use her as a basis for a lot of things, because through everything, like Celeste you were saying in the last segment, you had to take responsibility for your pain.
Yes.
And you found food as a way to do that.
Yes.
So our lovely Alyssa Mahadeo, big up yourself, Alyssa, she wrote an amazing woman empowered article on you. And I grabbed a few quotes, and we're going to talk about a few of them, because I think these are really good ones for people to kind of digest.
Right.
And I'd love to hear your thoughts about them when you did say them or where they came from. So if you're looking for this article, you can actually go on the Toronto Caribbean newspaper website, and there's a section that says Women Empowered, and you can see the complete write-up of Celeste. Definitely go and check it out. So let's go into one of our first quotes. Through my own soul searching, I realized I also wanted to be my own self-healer. Food medicine is a protocol that I was able to use on myself to promote my own self-healing. Talk about this experience.
That's a very good and very powerful experience, because that's what I had to, that's my journey that I embraced. You can eat, like, some people go to ice cream, and what happens is you have to think about self-talk. So when you think about that ice cream, at the end, before you can get to that stage where, you're going to just sit down and eat that bucket of ice cream, before you actually get to that stage, you got to think about what is going to be the end result after you eat that whole bucket of ice cream. Is it going to empower you mentally, emotionally, psychologically, or physically? Or are you going to end up feeling worse?
Yeah.
So if people can learn self-talk, because a lot of us, based on our childhood conditioning and our old tapes that we've gone through in life, we self-sabotage ourselves in so many different ways. And food is one of the ways that people self-sabotage themselves.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Very true.
So if you can get to a point where you think about, well, when I eat this food, if I'm going through a life crisis, or I'm in pain, or I have a loss, or I'm grieving, how is that food going to help me at the other end? Because a lot of people, one of the reasons that they're not open to healing is because they want to numb the pain. They want the pain to go away, but the pain has to be released. The universe wants you as a human being on the planet to enjoy all the abundance of life. So you're doing an injustice to yourself as a human being on the planet. And, you know, we have all these corporations out there, and we all know the names. I'm not going to say any names. But they're not doing justice to us. They're using us as guinea pigs and monopolizing us, you know what I mean, with all these different chemicals and fillers. And we know how to heal ourselves because we are our own best healers, you know. And that's why here I said, God, just use me as a guide, you know, use me as a vessel or an advocate in the world to teach people and bring back Earth's food to help you to heal yourself from the inside out. So for me, it was all about what is going to be the end result if I put this food into my body. And that's what made me stop in a situation where, you know, because mentally you'll talk to yourself and you'll be like, oh, I feel like I want that fry, or I feel like, and there's nothing wrong with fries. You can have good quality fries. You just have to take the time to make it. And that's the part that a lot of us don't like to do, to take the time to go and make the good quality food. And again, there are ways that you can make healthy food in under 5 or 10 minutes. It's all about preparation.
Okay. So speaking about that, it's good because it goes into my next quote. So, food medicine includes all of the food given to us from Mother Earth and nature. And it provides a lot of mental, emotional, psychological, and physical ingredients and requirements that the human body needs on a deep cellular level. Break this down. Break this down for them, please.
So the human being has trillions of cells. We have trillions of cells inside of our bodies, right? And living here in North America and many parts of the world, our cells are starving. And they're starving for the right nutritional ingredients. So because the cells in our bodies are starving, we have all these chronic illnesses, all these diseases. One of the biggest diseases that's coming out now is Lyme's disease, right? It's actually getting as big like diabetes and cancer.
Really?
Right?
Oh my goodness.
So that's something that you can look up. Lyme disease is becoming huge now.
Okay. Okay.
And so one of the things that we need to focus on educating ourselves on the power of food medicine and how it can start to basically feed the cells inside of our body. Because when the cells are starving, right, you might feel like, you know, sometimes you're wondering why you ate the second time, you ate the third time. Because you have a hormonal imbalance and a chemical imbalance in your body that's making you feel like you're not hungry. Because when you eat a good quality whole foods, like you eat the right kind of complex carbs, vegetables, you know, for the meat eaters, like a good quality fish, you know, you should feel full and maybe have a salad or something is what I recommend. But you shouldn't be feeling like you need to eat a third or fourth or fifth time. And when you see these certain conditions in people, it means that the cells in the body are starving. Just like the reverse, where a person feels like maybe they have low self-esteem, they don't like their body image. So now they're anorexic or they're bulimic because they're focusing on the messages that's being said to them instead of focusing on being healthy. Because healthy body is, you know, one apple, like it's not a one size fits all. It's how to feed the cells inside of your own unique body so that you become healthy from the inside out.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah, I like that. The personalization to what is good for you. So you can't, it's not a cookie cutter.
No.
Where all these people are like, you know, do this diet is going to work and do this diet. No, it's not going to work like that. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, like we have, for example, we have the keto diet where you focus on proteins and carbs.
Okay.
Then you have the paleo diet. Then you have the Mediterranean diet. Then you have the beach diet. You have all these diet and diet and diet and diet. And I hate the word diet.
I know.
Because again, I have a system at home where it's able to scan 40 different systems with all the organs in your body to find out what you're deficient in nutritionally.
Okay.
So that's how I'm able to customize my holistic menu plans for each client because there's not one plan that's the same.
Okay.
You might need a higher dose of vitamin C if you're suffering with cancer because when you look at vitamin C provides for the body and how you can optimize the body with food medicine and then you're trying, and that's why science and different you know, like the pharmaceutical or different industries don't like food medicine because there's not a lot of data to find out why the food can provide so much powerful tools to help the body to heal itself from the inside out. You know what I mean? So like there's no data. I mean, you can base it based on testimonials and from people.
Right.
But again, each testimonial is going to be different because the protocol that you provide for the client is also different.
Okay. So when we come back, again, thank you. Like, I'm learning. Dave, are you learning?
I'm taking everything
Dave?
in. We're working. Sorry, family, but we are working over
They-
here. Yes, we are.
When we get back, we're going to continue this. We have one more segment left with her. So, again, if you guys have any questions or comments, definitely put them up now. If you don't get a chance, and again, you see this replay, you can put the questions up. Celeste will see them. She's going to have access to the video, and she'll be able to answer you directly. And we're also, at the bottom, you're going to see some links in which you can get in contact with Celeste as well if you have any personal questions after the show is done, okay? So when we come back, we're going to finish our talk with Celeste London. We'll see you guys soon. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. So this has been like, honestly, I've had 2 shows today, and I think they've both been powerful in different ways. I like this one because, again, a lot of this knowledge is very practical knowledge, but not practical knowledge that everyone has a hold on. Like, I think they get it. There's all these people who think they're holistic and they're vegan and all these things, but I don't think people get exactly the power of food, how you're presenting it.
Right.
So if you're just joining us, we are here with Celeste London, and definitely go back to the first 3 segments when you get a chance. First segment, we were speaking about all the things you should be putting in your body. Our second and third, we talked about definitely pain, emotion, and how you can utilize food to deal with those pains and emotions, and how Celeste herself has utilized food to do this. So we've pulled up a few quotes, and we actually have a question. Yes, please, don't forget to like, comment, and share. Actually, Anisha, she has a question, and she had a question, and we're dealing with it later. I'm not dealing with it now. I told you to put it in the comment section because we don't got time for her right now.
It'll just pop up.
Type it in. Exactly. You got power to do that over there, girl. So we have another quote that I want to bring up for you. Food medicine can be a powerful tool that a person can use to bring up their positive emotions in the right way. A lot of people aren't aware of the power of food medicine and that it can really help them in this way.
Yes.
So this is like really like the nuts and bolts of what this show is about, because I found it interesting that you can talk about dealing with your pain by eating well.
Yes.
Let's go over this a little bit.
Sure. So, for example, a lot of people in North America are living here in the Toronto city. We're living in a very fast-paced environment. So a lot of people have a lot of stress, whether you're single, married, whatever, everyone has stress. So if you focus on eating food that have B vitamins, right? B vitamins help to deal with stress,
That's
right? So if you focus on things like that, then it can help you to cope with the never-ending busyness, you know.
Can you give us some examples, just so people, and this is this pencil pen time, guys.
So for example, eating fruits like pomegranate, right? The actual real pomegranate. So making real juices, you know, grains like quinoa, millet. These are gluten-free grains. quinoa is something that's very popular out in the market right now. It's very high in protein. So if you're vegan, you're going to like to eat quinoa instead of rice.
Okay.
Because rice has a lot of carbs in it. Unless you're eating the brown rice, not the parboiled rice from Caribbean background. The actual brown rice or the red rice or even the black rice.
Okay.
I do recommend there is black quinoa and red quinoa. So I like to do a combination of all three.
Okay.
Not just the white quinoa. And there are politics around food because of being melanated. They promote the white quinoa more. I mean, I'm sorry to say that, but that's just
it is
something.
what it is. Yeah.
It is what it is, right? So, to me, like when I found out that there was black quinoa and then there's red quinoa, and I'm like, when you go to the store, like we have a store in Toronto called the bulk store, they'll have this big barrel of the white quinoa and then a small section of the black quinoa and the white quinoa. So I'm asking myself, wow, like, yes, it's a good food, but why so much overwhelming abundance of the white quinoa? Because again, living in the environment, coming from, history and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, so like focus on those kind of foods.
Another show. That's another show. I know exactly where you're going with that. That is another show, sister. It's okay. Don't worry. But no, personal research. You discovered something about diabetes. Yes. And this is like a lot of what you focus on. And Caribbean, families. Both my parents have diabetes.
Oh, wow.
Both of them do. So I told them to actually watch the show. I was like, make sure you're watching this. Both of you. But they've gotten better. You know what, I think this would be a really good show for them because I think you can give some real details on what people are supposed to do.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. Dealing with diabetes, how did you get interested in this type of research?
I have family members who are dying of this disease. And so I had an aunt who, she got her legs amputated. So that's when you had to cut off your legs, right?
Yeah.
And so what I realized that because I have family members dying, in the Caribbean, when you live back in the Caribbean, we have an overwhelming amount of access to fruits. But fruits have natural sugar. And what they're not doing, especially coming even here in Toronto or Caribbean people, we don't know how to balance the vegetables and the fruits. We tend to eat more of the wrong kind of food. And when you age, your pancreas is responsible for pumping the insulin because it's a hormone. Insulin is a hormone. And so when that body is out of balance, then your sugar levels are out of balance. And that's why you have diabetes. So what you need to do is go back to eating more more vegetables so that you can balance the intake of the onset of that sugar imbalance. And for example, there's a supplement that you take called, it starts with a C. I just lost my train of thought there. But it's called... not cortisol. That's a hormone. That's for when the fight or flight. But if you can take like cinnamon, for example, like cinnamon is a spice, right? That's one that comes up to my brain right now. So if you put cinnamon in your smoothies, it will help to actually balance your sugar levels.
Okay. So something as simple as that.
So something as simple as adding cinnamon. So let's say you have a sweet tooth or you're making a mango smoothie, for example. Add a little bit of cinnamon. You can even add lime, because lime and mango go together.
Okay.
So these little tidbits of things can help you when you go to do your blood reading, if you have to monitor because some people have to monitor and inject themselves to check their blood throughout the day when you have diabetes. So something like as small as cinnamon is something that you can do. And, dandelion leaf, it's bitter. Like bitter foods help to balance the blood sugar levels, right? So something like... So, like, there's this bush in the grocery store called dandelion. It's horrible. Bitter melon, the green thing. No matter what you do, you can pour a gallon of sugar on it. You still taste the bitter. So, if you're diabetic and you want to stop the injections that they prescribe for you, or the insulin injections that you have to go back to the hospital, and you're like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. Start eating some bitter foods.
Okay. I eat dandelion. Yuck.
Put some mushrooms with it or something, and you can add some, Himalayan sea salt with some, healthy spices. I don't recommend 2 or 3 spices. The more spices, the more spicing your body, and then your body's on fire. So I wouldn't do that. Don't.
Can I blend it with ice cream?
No.
I tried, guys. She said no.
No beaver's butt.
No beaver butt for you guys. So we actually had a question before we finish with Celeste. And you know what? I want to mention something. We have 2 books here that Celeste has brought. So Healing My Broken Spirit, Rejuvenate, Restore, and Redefine You. And you're going to tell people, this is a nice book, by the way. And Celeste, when you go on her website and when you get to see more about her stuff, is that your question, Anisha?
Yes.
It's about time. She even works with colors, so she's an amazing woman. You guys definitely have to do some research on her yourselves to see exactly how much work she's put into what she does and why it's just so much value. Her other book is obviously Diabetes 2. This is the one that I know about. Diabetes 2, Healing T2, so type 2 diabetes. And these books, again, this looks like it's even, you have like a workbook. Yes?
Yeah.
I'm going to give this one to my parents, actually. Mom and Dad, this is yours. I already got you guys, took care of it. But definitely something for you guys to get into. So the question was, I can't remember. I can't read that, Dave.
Sure, no problem. So what can 20-year-olds deal with exhaustion and lack of energy? And why does this happen to the youth?
Well, as a youth, a lot of people in post-secondary education, going to colleges, so they're sometimes partying, right, late at night, guilty of that. And, you know, they are eating stuff that doesn't help to energize them. It's actually draining their energy. So, for example, you know, in your 20s, because your metabolism is high and you're able to, you know, get rid of those carbs in a half an hour, right? You can burn it off. But what I do recommend, especially if you're studying, is take some omega-3 fatty acid for your brain when you're studying.
Okay.
Take some like good quality fruits. Like I said, the ones that are not too sweet, like pineapple is too sweet, mango is too sweet. So focus on things like grapes. Like pomegranate is sour. That's why I highly recommend that food. You know, if you have a sweet tooth, go for dates. Go for things that are from plants, right? Dates has
good.
fiber in it,
Yeah.
right? So it's really good quality stuff. Mother Nature provided us with everything. You know what I mean? So like focus on those type of foods, and you know, make sure that you're having protein for breakfast in the morning time. And when I say protein, like, you know, if you're in a situation where you can't afford a good quality supplement, like a protein supplement, get the good quality almond butter. Especially for women, it has the calcium, the magnesium. It's an almond butter. It's an almond paste. Put a tablespoon of that into some good quality nut milk. Blend it up. Put some cinnamon in that. And you have yourself a good quality fast. In less than 5 minutes, you have breakfast. And protein helps to balance the unnecessary cravings you have throughout the day. So that's why it's good to put protein into your breakfast first thing in the morning. Okay. Because if you're struggling with like a sweet tooth, then that's going to help to offset the, you know, having that sugar rush, or I need a chocolate, or I need a candy, or something like that throughout the day.
Okay. So I already knew this already. There is no way we'll be able to get through everything with Celeste today. But I will let you guys know again, there are some handles that you get to her if you have any questions, and we will be bringing Celeste back in, maybe to talk about something more direct, maybe at the youth, because I think the youth need it.
Yes.
I think because they're young. It's going to catch up with you eventually. Trust me, it catches all of us, okay? Believe me. So you can find Celeste on Instagram at The Real Celeste London. She's also on LinkedIn at Celeste London, Facebook at Celeste London. Definitely hit her up if you have any questions. This is a woman you need to speak to. Definitely. If you want to make those changes in your life, they're hard. But if you're committed to living a better life, or if diabetes, any of these things run in your family, you should definitely at least start considering how you're going to change your diet. It may not be right away, but it's something you can work on. So I want to thank you,
Thanks,
Celeste, for coming in. Really appreciate it.
Thanks
love
for
the
having
energy,
me.
love the vibe. We'll be having you back. Dave?
Yes.
Dave did nothing this show but sit down here in the middle and smile and type. But we thank you.
Do you?
I don't know yet.
You're not sure yet? We'll see when the numbers come out, right?
We'll see how our views look at the end of all this. But thank you guys. Have
Thanks
a
for
wonderful
having me.
Friday. Celeste, thank you for coming. You guys
Thank
drive
you.
safe on your drive home. Take care of yourself. Life, love, peace, happiness, joy, all that good stuff. See you guys later. Bye.
Bye.